Hey, it is Dr. Dawn Nicole here, CEO and founder of ProcuraFind, one of the fastest growing online supplier platforms helping small businesses get developed and connected to corporate contracts faster. So recently, we announced a strategic partnership with her headquarters, and something really interesting happened. When we announced that strategic partnership, you all, more than the partnership itself and the benefits to both member platforms, I had so many women, especially women businesses, who were not only really proud. I mean, they were proud to see two women locking arms, but they wanted to know, Dr. Donicole, how did you do it? How did you come to the conclusion that a strategic partnership was a good idea? In a day and age where people are so competitive, you think that if you tell somebody something, you can't trust people with your blueprint, you can't trust people with your trade secrets. So, how did you get to this point where a company who seems to be similarly modeled to ProcuraFind, you all ended up partnering? Can you talk about it? So, I thought it would be a great topic to sort of unpack here with you. So, let's do it. The first thing I want you to know is typically by the time a strategic partnership is announced, even though it feels very sudden to you or very rushed, you can rest assured that there's already been maybe a year to 6 months, 6 months to a year of conversations that have already been happening in the background, as is true in this case. So, Karina Glover, who is the CEO of her headquarters, and I probably started having conversations way back in March. Now, keep in mind, right now, we are in September. So we started having conversations in March. We were introduced by a mutual member slash partner who thought I should know, Karina and her headquarters should be on my radar. Well, guess what, guys? We had a first great meeting, and Karina was just as wowed as I was. I was really impressed. I was really wowed with the work that this woman had done since 2019. She's done a phenomenal job of putting together a platform for women-owned small businesses. Equally, she was just as enamored with the work we had done here at ProcuraFind, and at that time we were less than a year, less than 2 years. So we began to talk, and one of the things that we discovered in our conversation is that we really were trying to solve the same problem. We were trying to give small businesses access to opportunities faster, right? We were just trying to make opportunities more accessible. I think that's the better way to put it. And we had built our individual solutions. Hers was more of an app-based solution. And it's an app-based solution that allows you to sign up for free at no cost to start bidding on contracts. And of course, they make a revenue share of the contract should you win the contract. And there's also a certificate model, which is a brilliant idea. Meanwhile, our member base was really geared around you becoming a member to get in the network and in the know. So you'd pay an annual fee, and there's a large sense of community. So it's not so much that there are open RFPs available for you to bid on, but instead it is a community of other hustling and bustling small businesses across the nation who want to get contracts. They want to either get connected or get competitive strategies to connect themselves. And so what we're bringing is a sense of community, and we're bringing that world-class supplier development. And upon our first conversation, one of the first things we realized is that we really admired what the other had done, and we really admired the difference in our model. So although we had a similar mission, we had a different model. And I want to pick on that. I don't want to get off that point, because oftentimes your best strategic partner is someone who is similarly modeled to you. They care about solving the same problem as you, but perhaps they solve it a little differently. We did not really overlap, and this made for an excellent collaboration that was not competitive but complementary. So write that down if you're taking notes, that oftentimes your best strategic partners are someone who's modeled like you. They maybe touch your same audience, but they don't offer the exact same thing as you. And this is where there is advantage on both sides, okay? So right away, I was loving the fact that there was no fee for membership. I also love the fact that there was a third party certification or verification because we are certification agnostic. And at the time, we were pushing, the WeBank certification, we were pushing NMSDC and just some other certifications. And so since they actually was a certifying body, we don't have to be one. We can now promote their certification. So that's the second thing, is not only identifying who makes a good strategic partner, but identifying the opportunity pretty early. And so the opportunity is the fact that we also offer a ton of supplier development. There's a ton of training that already comes in our membership every single week. And whereas her people were simply coming there for the right now bid opportunity, and there wasn't so much a community based feel, but we brought the community. So now that we identified where we differ, we then had to think strategically and critically about where we come together in a way that didn't feel taxing and burdensome to our member base. Respectfully, her headquarters had done a fantastic job building their member base, and so had ProcuraFind. What was also very interesting during this time is we were going through a rebrand. So we were no longer exclusively focusing on women. We were now all inclusive, right? Gender neutral. So what do you do with this information? How do you move from there? The next piece of strategic partnership is really identifying not just if we make good partners, not just where the opportunity lies, but also what are we going to do about it? How are we going to come together? We quickly realized that there was a great way to come together by having an informational call that I would host for her members. She would equally host an informational call for our members. We would be very, very crystal clear about the fact that we can be the supplier development arm. So what you lack over there in community, you can get over here. You can also get the supplier development piece, and you can get the instant connections. But what we lacked in being a bid portal, they can bring to the table. So it's really about knowing how to execute. From there, we listed out a 90-day execution strategy. What will we do? We will bring her to the welcome call to make the announcement. What does our social media strategy look like? Making sure that both sides have an info call so they can learn about the other. And then from there, continuing to monitor those opportunities. So I hope that this gives you a flavor of how we approach strategic partnerships and how you can too. Do not be afraid of strategic partnerships. They will help you grow further, faster. All right. It is time for us to let the arms down, to let the guards down, and to grow faster than ever before. If you enjoyed this and you like this type of content, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. And check out ProcuraFind.com if you're a small business looking to get connected to corporate contracts faster. And be sure to check out new book, Be the Contract Winning Supplier, where it teaches you how to be competitive from beginning to winning. All right, see you soon. Take care. Bye. Dr. Dawn Nicole signing off.